adult life being a passionate, emphatic supporter of the United Nations. I still believe in the dream of what this institution could be, what it could represent, what it, how it could benefit the world in the right way. But I have watched utter rage, guys, utter disgust at how, even at this level, guys, the state of Israel, the representatives for Israel, the people of Israel, the government of Israel, Jewish people in general, have been degraded in a way, and that is the right word, guys. I'm trying very, very hard to choose my words wisely here and accurately and well. They have been raked over the coals. I've lost track now. Time and time and time and time and time and time again, guys, over this past year. I have never in my lifetime heard so many lies, so many falsehoods, so have been witness to so much distortion of the facts as I've witnessed over this past 12 months, guys, concerning this particular issue. And I'm not even Jewish, guys. I'm not Jewish. And I'm sitting here and I'm in a state of shock myself. To a very large degree, I am in a state of shock myself that the whole world, guys, most of it, how it collectively has been able to fall for such colossal lies and distortions of truths and facts. I remember 9/11, guys. I remember 9/11, okay? I remember when the United States was attacked. And I was in my 30s at the time, guys, when that particular, my early 30s, I believe. And that was bad. That was like, people are beginning to forget now, but so much of the world was reeling at the time when the United States was attacked. And we knew that there was going to be a response, guys, as you would do. Your nation gets attacked. Citizens within your nation are killed, brutally killed, face horrific deaths. You don't sit back and you don't allow yourself to be attacked and not respond. So we knew when 9/11 hit, guys, that the United States was going to retaliate. We knew that. And I remember my response at the time. I kept thinking, hopefully it's going to be fair. Hopefully it's going to be measured. Hopefully it's going to be, that the reaction is balanced to what the crime was, And so I watched the United States, how they reacted to this crisis, and how they targeted certain groups and certain countries and so on and so forth. And I watched how Iraq was brought into the equation. And I watched the United Nations at the time. And I watched broadcast over main, because this is way before I had a computer and all. No, I didn't have any of the source set up back then, guys. I wasn't, you know, I was like everyone else, just an average old Joe watching the news on TV and getting my information that way. And everybody's saying that this nation, that particular nation, had nothing to do with this attack. And yet, the United States, that government at the time, that particular administration, had its sights on basically, I still call it an invasion, to be honest with you guys, invading that particular nation, because it was proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that that nation had nothing to do with that particular attack. So what I'm leading up to here, but by using this example, was that there was an outcry. What's it now, like 22 some odd years ago, 23 years ago? I'm starting to lose track of it. I guess something like that, 24 years ago now. And there was demonstrations on the streets and all this. Watched all that over the news. The United States went in and did what they wanted to regardless, okay? They did what they felt they had to do to avenge what was done to their nation and to their people and so on and so forth. So what I'm leading up to here, guys, was that once the response was made, okay, and the world knew that the United States was going to do what it was going to do regardless, and even though there was anger and frustration and disgust and so on and so forth, people gave up after a while. People just like went on with their lives, and the stories kept coming out in the news, and a lot of people, I guess, weren't happy with the way certain groups within the power structure in the United States, within the military and various different were dealing with the people that they had taken into custody and so on and so forth. But guys, what I'm desperately trying to get across to you here in bringing this example up is that you did not have the whole entire world, or the greater portion of the world, actively campaigning against the United States for a full solid year, trying to bring about the destruction of the United States because of the way they responded to this attack. Do you understand what I am desperately trying to get across by making this example, guys? And I could maybe think of other ones, but that's the primary one because it's along the same lines. It's in the same vein. It's the same sort of thing, okay? It's the same types of groups, the same religious extremists that attacked the U.S. and what the U.S. represents, that went ahead and decided to attack Israel last October 7th. But the difference, the response, the world's response could not be more different, guys. Could not be more different. Now, I remember 9/11, okay? Nobody can brainwash me about 9/11. I lived through it in the sense of I was a young man when this happened, and I was exposed to it through the media and so on and so forth. Like everybody my age, we remember it. Remember how it all played out, okay? And the difference between that attack on the United States 23 some odd years ago and the attack on Israel last October, which, guys, you can be in as much denial about this as you want to be, okay? And you can refuse and turn a blind eye to the footage that is out there and the record of what was done in this attack. It's all out there, guys. It's all out there for anybody to view and anybody to expose themselves to. The colossal brutality of this attack. I will go so far as to say, guys, and I don't think I'm wrong in my comparisons there. It was even worse than 9/11. Okay, it was even for the types of things that were done, the level of brutality, the level of sadism. I'm trying so hard to praise things in a way that this video is going to get through and going to be watched and so on and so forth. But still staying true to what those of us who support Israel, those of us who support the Jewish people, those of us who are willing to hear their voice in a sea of madness over this past year, guys, a sea of distortions and twisting and lies, colossal lies on top of lies, on top of lies, on top of lies, guys, so that their voice is drained out. Their voice is not heard. Their voice, the victim, the original victim, is overlooked, is disregarded. I'm trying to find a way to break through all of that clutter, all of that sickness that has developed over this past year concerning this conflict and how the conflict began. I don't claim, guys, to know every single solitary little fact, little detail, little whatever that the opposing side keeps throwing up. They have their agenda, they have whatever information they're getting from whatever sources they're getting their information from. I don't claim to know every single solitary thing concerning, nor does anyone else, guys. And this is what upsets me so much about these, what I call fanatics now, propagandists, that are just taking this to ever greater levels of insanity and madness, because they don't have the facts either. You understand me, guys? They don't, like all these people that are trying to fight for the destruction of Israel. It's basically what's happening right now. They're fighting for the downfall of the state of Israel. Okay? And I have watched people talk to these supporters and these young people and these so-called woke people and all the rest of it, and they haven't got a clue, guys. I would say well over half, 80% of humanity that is fighting for this other side. You don't have all the facts, and you don't. What makes it worse, guys, is you don't want to have all the facts. You don't want to see the full, complete picture. This is what I'm struggling with. This is what I'm sure the people in Israel right now are struggling with like mad. Why does the world not want to get the complete picture? There's two sides to every single solitary story, issue, conflict that there ever was, guys. And for almost 12 full months now, a full year, the world has only chosen to get one side, to hear one story, one set of facts. And then they've gone like mad, run like mad in that direction. Completely, eyes closed, ears closed, deaf, dumb to anything outside of that particular direction that they've decided to go in. Just emphatically going in that direction. So Israel speaks up. They give an alternative viewpoint. They tell the world what's happening to them, what's happening to their citizens, what's been happening to their citizens since the 7th of last year, right up to this date now, where Israeli people are dying, Israeli citizens are dying. Nobody talks about the Israeli citizens that are dying, guys. Nobody talks about an entire state that is... Talk about terror, guys. You want to talk about terror? The whole state of Israel right now is in a state of shock and is in a state of terror, guys. They're terrorized. They're terrorized by the extremists in that region, and then they're terrorized by humanity that is blindly, utterly blindly, misguidedly chosen to believe one side over another and is supporting the side that is terrorizing the victim, that is still being a victim, that's been brutalized over and over and over again. And never in my entire lifetime, guys, have I witnessed something like this, of this nature, twisted this way. So I am completely ashamed of the United Nations right now, an organization that, an institution that I've venerated at one time, most of my life, believed in like crazy, supported like crazy. I can only sit right now, guys, in complete disgust of this institution and what has gone on in those, in that what do you call it, auditorium or whatever, where they make the speeches and so on. The lies, the distortions, the twisting of things, and people walking out when that don't want to hear facts and don't want to hear the other side. You can push any agenda, guys, for as long as you want and as intensely as you want when you only see one side of an issue. Okay? When you're completely, utterly unwilling to lay all the facts out and see both sides of it, of any issue, any conflict. When you dismiss one side and demonize one side, for whatever your reasons may be, then it becomes so darn easy to become fanatical in supporting the other side. And what I need to see, and what I'm sure Jewish people everywhere needs to see, what the state of Israel right now needs to see a year into this thing, is more balance, guys, more balanced. Cooler, more level heads dealing with this issue. And a humanity willing to see all sides of the conflict, that will stop demonizing one side and victimizing the other side, when clearly the side that's being demonized are the true victims in this. Because of the chants in these crazy freaking demonstrations. We know what those chants mean, guys. Those of us who support Israel, we